It's the Golden Age Podcast in the mother effing house.
Y'all want to see my face? Y'all want to see my face? I don't care. See y'all face. Y'all want to see my face?
Merge. This is the Golden Age Podcast. Let's get a little, let's get our bug in. Yeah, my name is PJ Cote, more than okay on the night, getting ill close to getting what you like. Don't be scared, don't have a fright, don't get mad and take flight. Alright, that's the beat. Bugging out, bugging out, bugging out, you're bugging out, bugging out, bugging out. That's that. That was a ill beat. My name's PJ Cody. Welcome to a thing called the Golden Age Pauldcast. We're live again in the studio. Isn't that impressive? Oh, we're going to decline that one. Well, let's just answer it. Camden. Let's say hi to him. Hey, Camden. Hey, Camden. DeMarco. Camden. DeMarco. Don Juan DeMarco. Don Juan DeMarco. Coming from North Dakota like Fargo. Big Don Daughter. Listen, I'm on the air. I'm live on the podcast. Okay. Hey, I'm
my buddy off again. Can I come hang? I got sour.
I'm in the studio. Wait. Hold, slow down. I'm in the studio. I'm doing my podcast. I'm in the studio currently. You're on the air, live and in effect. So no contraband talk. I'm going to tell you. I will call you back as soon as I get done being on the air. You can watch me live on Facebook and YouTube in the meantimes.
How did you know I wasn't talking about Warheads, the sour candy?
I know exactly what you're talking about because we're both addicted to candy. We love sugar. We have a sugar problem. So I love you, Cam, and I'll talk to you in
Start soon. I gotta get in the gym. I can't drum or skate.
hour and a half, bro.
Soon.
All right.
Done.
Much love. Hour and a half, probably.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Watch me live until then. Peace. Much love.
Peace, brother.
Brah. Hey, you know what? We get distractions. Turning on Do Not Disturb on the Golden Age Pauldcast. Guess what, guys? I'm a Photoshopper, and I've been sitting on a lot of graphics, and I've imported a few, and I'd like to show them to you. You guys ready for more of my graphics? If you want a t-shirt, if you want a skateboard, if you want stickers, you just let me know in the comments that you'd like to hook it up. Check this out. This is one of my logos I made like a long time ago. Let's see if I do it right. It's the Golden Age where only love exists. So I did a little sign with some blur and made it a triangle. Here it is smaller. The Golden Age. That's one of my logos I did. I'm pretty creative. I'm not going to lie. PJ Cody's creative. It's the Golden Age where only love exists, you fucking slut. Sorry, I always end my songs like that. Not trying to slut shame. Anyway, this is the Golden Age Pauldcast. We fixed the webcam so I can move my hands thusly, and the camera will not try to follow my motions. We have worked out most of the, what do you call them? The snafus, the fugazis. So, if you've just stumbled upon the Golden Age Pauldcast, you may ask yourself, hey, PJ Cody, a.k.a. Paul the Shoegazer, from his other show, Robots for Your Feet. What the dealio with the Golden Age? And I see it's quite simple. The Golden Age is the time coming up. On the other side, the next chapter where the cosmic party begins. What does that mean? It means hold the vision. Stop trying to uplift other people. Fix yourself. Work on you so you can hold space that others can work on themselves, and we get to ascend together. See how that works? The Golden Age is simple. We'll explain it later, but one of the reasons I wanted to get back on the air here with another episode of the Golden Age Schmaldcast starring me, PJ Cody, in case you weren't quite sure how to spell my name or were a little on the fence about that. Let's look at it. His name is PJ Cote. He was born in Tampa Bay. That means to everyone listening, he's a full-blooded Tampan in every way. That was gross. Anyway, if you get on the show, then you'll have a title, and I'll put your name in, and you'll feel special on the Golden Age Pauldcast. So if you are listening and think, hey, I would be an appropriate guest to be on the Golden Age Pauldcast, then bring it. Slide into the DMs. I don't mind. Late at night, whatever you got to do. Would love to have you. In the mean case, silly. In the meantime, I'm able to filibuster on my own. And part of filibustering is providing content. So here's more content. I made this postcard design, and it's been a sticker. And I found an image somewhere on the interwebs, and I found a font to match because I'm a font freak. FONTPHREAK, font freak. And here's one I designed. Maybe great, maybe good. You let me know. Let's see which one works best. Right here. That's the big version. It's a thing. I just added the text. And there she is over there. Hey, sweetie. What should we call her? Can we call her Starla? Let's call her Starla. Hey, Starla. I like to hang out at your flop house. You and me. We can huff paint and look out the window. Dance to some Donovan. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the Golden Age Podcast exists to provide content. And content is also my art, my graphic designs, the music, the whole nine. I do have my producer here for the show, Bella Ace. She is currently crashing on the floor and thoroughly bored, so we're going to leave her be. I'm thankful that you're on my mental wavelength. I do have some Golden Age material purchase available. You can, sundries and other personal supplies for expressing your enthusiasm with the Golden Age are available. You just got to holler at your boy. I can put together a care package for you and yours. And as well as my priceless art. I got a lot of art. And if you were to invest in a painting or even accept a donation or commission me for a painting, rest assured that shit will be valuable forever. And much like Jackson Pollock, finding a Jackson Pollock in a basement somewhere, you'll set your family up for generations to come, all by having an original PJ Cote, a.k.a. Paul Cote, piece of art in your domicile. He's a PJ Cote. He can do Photoshop too. So, the sooner you buy into the Cote cult and get on board, the better your future is and the future of your family. So, the Golden Age Podcast exists for a few things. We have been predominantly talking about comedy and also skateboarding and the convergence of them two things. I fancy myself a skater and a comic, much like Taylor Clark. I'd like to get him on the show. Hey, if you listen to this, Taylor Clark, let's work out the Zooms. We'll exchange some Zooms, and you can come do the show. We'll try new material out, and we'll play with some puns. Get all punny. So, yeah, I have some new bits, some new pieces, some new little thoughts, concepts I want to maybe foist upon you. I have a recorder device now on my new phone, and it's, anytime I get an idea, I just slap the record button and spit out whatever musings come to my brain. So maybe I'll pull my phone out here and try some new bits on you, just because I can't remember a single gosh darn one of them. So that's why we record them. I always wanted to invent a soap on a rope, but it's a recorder that goes around your neck. So even if most people have a phone and can record shit, but what if you're in the shower? How many jokes have you come up in the shower? Is your phone waterproof? Can you record something while you're in the midst of a nice warm shower? You can't. But if you had this little medic alert necklace around you, and you could just press a button and it records your voice, and then it sends the audio file with the transcription to your Gmail for you to look at when you're all dried up. I'm not sure what I'd name it, what I'd call it. I'd call it the laugh box, the laughs a million, the gag machine, the pun mobile, the bit shoot. Just kidding. That's already a thing. For bits, right? That was the joke. It's a bit. A shoot for bits. You can shoot your bits right into that recorder. That sounded gross. That sounded weirdly sexual. Don't shoot your bits into this recorder. That's gross. So, patent pending, I guess, if you want to steal my idea. I am a man of ideas, though. That's one of my routines. I like to tell everybody that I'm a man of ideas, and then I'll foist a bunch of half-middling, terrible ideas on you and play them off as genius. Like one of my favorites I can remember is start a football blog and call yourself Linus Crimmage. Laughing at my own jokes in 2025. Okay, I'm going to try to adjust this volume because I don't want to hear myself. I don't think I can help that. We're going to have an echo unless we take off the headphones, but I'm not talking to no one, so it really doesn't matter anyway. Hey! So if you're interested, we can continue the Golden Age podcast. The last one was a bit brief since we were running against end of the day, and Scotty G Live took his sweet time getting here. In the meantime, that was the only half-hour podcast. We normally shoot for an hour and a half. Some of them end up about an hour if they're outdoors. But, what we're going to do today is run through some business. I don't like to make too much of a plan on my podcasts, but I do have a video that I might try to run through. It's 48 minutes long. The Cotes have always been accused of making long-winded skateboard videos, like ones that go too long. Like my first video I told y'all, Adventures in High 8, came out in 1996 on VHS. And even then people were like, it's kind of long, there's too much footage. And yeah, dude, that was been the criticism for 30 years. And so, living up to the reputation, my brother edited together a bunch of stuff and called it Hi-Fi Left and Right Part 2, which contains all footage that wasn't in the first Hi-Fi Left and Right, which we covered in the past. And then we did cover a couple of edits of some of this stuff, but we don't care about repeating footage again. We're going to watch this edited together because my brother did it in like my part for street, my part for skate park at Tampa, his part for street and spot, the friends at the skate park, and the friends on the street, and then I think vert section. I mean, it's basically like Adventures in High 8 Part 2, but it's Hi-Fi Left and Right Part 2. At any rate, that seems like the jam, but in the meantime, I'm going to keep my phone out of the screen because I just think it's tacky. And I'm going to go to my recorder business, and I'm going to see if I can find us some recorded bits that I can, hold on, let me look through. I've come up with, you get up weird ideas. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning of the recorder, and I want to see it. Maybe I'll just repeat them. I'm not going to play them for you, but let's see what we got here. What's this one? Okay, what's this one?
Substitutes for cuss words.
Substitutes for cuss. Okay, I don't like that. Okay, maybe I'll play them. Anyway, when you get on your phone, you risk the alienating. Yeah, you risk the alienating people, and then they're sitting there. They scroll across. They see you looking at a phone. They're like, "Hey, here's a podcast going on. This guy's looking at his telephone." Let's skip that part. How about that was not the best idea? Let's jump right into a video because I kind of have a feeling my skate buddies and the rest of the home skillets in this world would rather watch footage. I guess we could talk about me. We could talk about the Golden Age. Before I jump into the footage, though, I want to kind of address some of the stuff. Not address like some controversy, but I want to, you guys know I do the Golden Age, and you guys are fully aware that the Golden Age has existed since, 2009? And the Golden Age has been a thing that I was reading in a lot of New Thought, or what you call New Age books, talking about spiritual evolution, the end of the Mayan calendar, the soul contracts that involve being here when we're here now to kind of usher in the Golden Age. I've been talking about this for a long time, guys. This is not a new concept. Like I said, these logos I designed, like this one right here, is like, I made that in 2009 or early 2010. So the Golden Age has always been a concept that's, I didn't invent it. It's not my brand per se. But what it is the idea of holding the vision of that. And then, we had a presidential election recently, and I don't talk about politics on the show, if you remember that. But I keep hearing the word from these guys in suits, the Golden Age. I keep hearing it. The Golden Age. Where only love exists. Okay, well, I'm not sure what their concept of a Golden Age is, or if it differs from mine, but it almost seems like we're getting a lot of validation that the cosmological viewpoint, or understanding, not just like astrology, but really just otherworldly influences, be it extraterrestrial, just, beings that aren't Earth beings, all right? We're not judging them or calling them aliens. Since there's no separation, we're all one. They're not alien to anything. They're just another part of our experience. We're dimension hopping. I just did a video on YouTube called Dimension Hopping Made Easy. Look it up. It involves a process of spinning some Palo Santo around and hopping to the realities we want to get the outcomes we desire. So that's what the Golden Age is. It's practicing preemptive thankfulness for a good thing that's on the way around the corner, on its way to sit in our lap and wiggle. That's what the Golden Age is having fun in the moment and not worrying about what we're paid. We know we deserve more, not worrying about spare time, or all these things are about to change. There will be a dismantling of the greed state. All the individuals who are not nice, I won't say what they are or how they're not nice, but the individuals with lower vibrations who are about fear and competition, might disappear one day. We might wake up one day and go, hey, there's millions of missing individuals, and what do they all have in common? Oh, turns out they're all assholes. Maybe we hopped into a dimension where they couldn't hang any longer because their vibration was just not fast enough to get her done. So maybe they moved to a dimension where they can be dramatic and fight in war and compete. But where we're going, we don't need wheels. We're going to transcend to the cosmic party and enjoy the heaven on earth that we were promised. What do you mean promises? Entitlements. Human beings are entitled to enjoy the fruits of our labor and enjoy this earth and work a little bit in order to enable good times, fun, and all the goodness we wish to surround ourselves with. There it is. So the Golden Age is one of those things, and I guess that's just what I wanted to discuss. Is there's a lot of folks that are using the word fear, worry, concern. They're worried about the future. But again, I'm not a left or right. I don't have any dog in that fight. The one thing that the one thing I think about a lot is when somebody's really entrenched in a position, I kind of want to put a spatula under it and kind of shake it up a little bit. Like, why are you so convinced that you're on this side, you have to believe this, you're on that side, you have to believe that? Like, just come up with your own amalgam, your own happy medium. So the Golden Age exists to remind us, each other, of our connection. There's no separation. There's nothing that isn't part of the plan. There isn't any accidents. There's no one born accidentally. There's no one who dies accidentally. There's just absolutely no coincidence. Well, I mean, there's coincidences, but there's no such thing as something that ain't supposed to go down in the way that it's going down. So if we learn to embrace that, then we can just watch skate footage and we can enjoy our life and not get too crazy with the cheese whiz, and be in a position where we're going to enjoy the fruits of our labor, and this life exists to reward us, and that's why we came here. I don't want to filibuster too long since we're 22 minutes into this business, but I think if you've been properly introduced to the golden age, we can kind of move forward and watch footage. Any skate rats that are watching are probably excited, like, shut the fuck up, dude. Let's get on with the business of watching skate footy. So, in previous podcasts, we watched little edits and stuff, but this is kind of like all of it in one piece. And I probably won't fast forward or nothing, but, if you're consuming the content, you're consuming the content. And if you're worried about seeing that Chris Sen front three again, then I don't know what to tell you. We're about to watch some footage of me and the homies and a lot of pro skaters. I think their names are all in here, so I won't even need to say the name. I'll be like, hey, there's Tony Hawk. There's Willie Santos. I'll try to send this tape to everybody who's implicated. Jeremy Ray, all the dudes who I know are going to be in this. Kane Gale. All the Florida Rippers who I grew up with. Yeah, just so you know who I am, I'm an old skater who grew up in Tampa Bay and skated with all the Florida homies in the Florida Amateur Skateboard League starting in 1990. I was a Florida Skater of the Year dude for like 93. So that was the highest I could get was, Facile Skater of the Year. I think Andrew Reynolds got it the other years, but I'm like a poor man's Andrew Reynolds. No. I'm like a poor man's Nate Broussard. That's what I want to be. I want to be a poor man's Nate Broussard. Shout out to Nate Broussard. I've shouted him out before. Anyway, if you're on Facebook scrolling by and you see me, hi Facebookers, leave me a comment or something, Talk some trash. I don't see any comments on here. Feeling neglected. And then I'm also on YouTube Live, so you can leave a comment there and you can talk about how rad I am. Or you can talk some shit too. Any interaction, any is fine. Whoever leaves the best comment, I'll send them some stickers and a postcard or something. That'll motivate some interaction, huh? I'll send you a sticker pack and a postcard signed by PJ Cote for the Golden Age. For the cleverest comment. Get us some engagement. I like engagement. Y'all like engagement. Anyway, I got a lot of new comedy I'm working on. So based on these recorded bits that I can't remember any of and won't play, probably should have written some down, I will thusly foist those on you in a little bit. But in the meantime, let's just start watching footage. I think it starts with me, the most important person ever. And let's bring this screen in for the YouTubies. Hold on here. And let's bring it in small. Oh, no, that's full screen, boy. Maybe we'll do some of that. But in the meantime, let me move over here a tiny bit. Position myself thusly. Hold on, maybe we'll go bigger. No, that's smaller. Let's just stick with this one. Or we could go full screen. We'll go full screen sometimes when I really want to emphasize something. But in the meantime, with no further ado, we're going to watch Hi-Fi Left and Right Part 2. And we'll just kind of discuss footy as we go along. And it'll be fun, trust me. Get on board. Sound is down. That's one of my tricks. That's a blunt to backside heel flip out, which I've never done since. Okay, so that's an ollie to tail to kickflip. This is kind of the intro montage. There's a song playing right now. Kickflip blunt, first kickflip blunt I ever did. The famous bench at the spot. There's my brother's kickflip down the 7. Oh, Howard Glover just said hello. Hi, Howard Glover. Props to Howard Glover. I am doing the podcast. There's Brent Marks, fakie inward double heel. There's Tony Hank. That was a big tail slap. Tony Hawk skating streets. Hey, Howard, let me give you my number, bro. I'm doing a podcast right now. That's my number. Props to you, bro. Don't call me now. I'm on the air right now, bro. Yeah, I'm doing that thing. Anyway, this is the intro. There's a bunch of stuff going on, so let's go back to that. Intro, that's Woodward. All right. So, we won't be distracted by people hollering at us when we should be worrying about, oh, there's Rod Mullen. We know him. Okay, so moving along, there's Rick Howard. This is the intro. Chet Thomas. There's that Chris Sendback 3 we talked about. Mike V. That's Neil Hendricks. Props to him. Danny Way. Ding-a-ding-ding. Tony Hawk. We're just going to do this for a while. You know, watch all our old footage. Shot on High 8. That was Tuss Pappas. That was a miracle on ice right there. God bless you, Justin Boekmeyer. Rip in peace. The old school bro bowl. All right, so that's the end of the intro, I believe, or close to the end of the intro. And that's Jed Davis from St. Pete who moved to Atlanta, my bro, and moi. Driving a 6'4" Impala, we were heavily influenced by Snoop Dogg and Montesi, my brother falling down, go boom, and Zach Getchy getting arrested. All right, there's the intro. Here's my brother Chris. Oh, yeah, Chris goes first. Yeah, because, Chris was born first. He used to go first. Yeah, that guy. So this is the Chris Cote Street Park. This is that Mitsubishi dealership we skated for a long time before it actually opened, like 2 years later. So what took a place 2 years to open? Random. Anyway, Chris was on Powell, so he was always following the Powell stuff and trying to be consistent. This is really consistent lines. Like, this was our 3 up, 3 down. And it was probably 102 degrees that day, midsummer. I have no idea how we had the stamina to do, 2 flat ground tricks after whatever. But Chris had switch flips. I never had a switch flip. Never done one in my whole friggin' life, probably. Oh, man, I'm sweating just looking at this friggin' footage. And this was the Ross Dress for Less. Now it's a home shopping network outlet and along Highway 16, Brandon, Florida. I'm nothing if not descriptive of my scenarios. Have some blood. A positive. No, just kidding. I don't even know anybody's blood type. Chris, holla back. What's your blood type? I don't know what's your blood type. My twin brother. What's his blood type? Do we have the same blood type, me and him? We have to, right? Wouldn't we have to have the same blood type? We would have to, right? I don't know, because they never drew no blood out of me. They ain't getting my life essence. You ain't getting in there. I don't care what unreasonable diseases I got floating in there. You ain't never gonna find out. I'll just keel over one of these days. Yeah, you're looking at the Bro Bowl, not the laser scanned friggin' remake, but the OG Bro Bowl. You see the mute grab? That's very Powell Peralta. The old Bro Bowl had these brick banks we used to skate. You probably saw those in an early toy machine video. So here we are, still skating the 3 up, 3 down. Let me make sure YouTube Live is looking good. How am I looking? You guys see me? Are you seeing me live? I'm just making sure. There I am. Look at me on TV. Good God. I'm easily impressed. Yeah, that's Marble Manor in Tampa. Chris trying to act like that wasn't the best switch frontside flip ever. There's a fakey heel. That was caught. Back in the day, you weren't catching the tricks. By 94, we were trying to catch them. We were really trying to catch the tricks. But you could still do a little low to the ground floppy business. But by 95, though, the low to the ground tricks were over. You either hopped or you dropped. Here's a switch kickflip on a 60-40 board. I used to get 60-40 boards. That was my color, and 60-40 were my only sponsors. And they were like Flow sponsor. It was not official. That's Mercyhurst College in Erie, Pennsylvania. We filmed that in 94. So we've been coming to Erie for a while. We'd come to Erie for family reunions and, done Erie. Been here for 3 years trying to make the best out of this experience. And so, my homie had a 61 Impala or 62. And we were all into Snoop Dogg and saying biatch, and we were smoking these blunts. We thought that was smoking a blunt, like a tobacco blunt. We didn't know there was weed in it. We're like, let's smoke this blunt and drive a 62 Impala and smoke a blunt with sunglasses on. That was us thinking, that's cool. Shout out to Dwayne Phillips from Venice. This is all his stuff edited, street stuff. He had switch 360 flips every which way but loose. He lives in Houston now. His kid skates. He's still skating. I seen him do a pressure flip 2 days ago. So Dwayne Phillips in Houston, Texas. Props to you. I think he was like a fireman or something. I don't know. Roof Gap. Yeah, you might have seen some of this stuff, but that's okay. This is in Venice, I believe, or Sarasota. Switch backside nose grind. Like, hello, that's kind of ahead of his time. Switch front nose on a head high or waist high thing. Good old Ronnie Breyer. He's a mixed martial arts guy and still very athletical. Props to Ronnie Breyer, still holding it down for Brandon, Florida. Oh, look at those Sals. The white Sals with the black sole. Stop. As soon as Sal re-releases the white with the black sole, then they get my money. Here's Dan. Whoop. That was a hazard at the edge of those stairs. Not many people skated it because you bust yourself open like that. Pat Parnell. Venice's legend. Good old Mike. Good old Smokin' Charlie Shipley, the guitarist for the Superfly crew. Good old Bobby Sixkilla, the rapper. You know Bobby. Chris Curtis, another Venice dude, Sarasota dude. Andrew Curry, not the Australian. But look how ahead of the time his was. Switch, look at this. Fakey heel, switching it. Look at this. Backside flip in St. Pete. How about this? Look at this. That's just as good as any World Industries video you'll ever see. I think Chris... Oh, not Chris. Yeah. Andrew Curry. Shorts. That was Evans Park. That was the park we built from scratch in Brandon, or Mango Seffner. Nice shirt. Assuck. If you ever listen to Assuck, this is probably the best. So there goes Dwayne. And then here comes PJ Cote, which is me. Shout out to Bo Turner. I'm riding the Bo Turner board. That was the first kickflip blunt I ever did. Again, look at this. Oh, these are the Etnies wraps. They were the white Etnies with the black sole and the gum bottom. Stop. Low top, white Etnies wraps with the black sole for the win. You know, Chris was always real serious about his skating, and I just kind of wanted to sort of do goofball shit. That's our first car right there. Look at that. It's a generic Pontiac. It's like a K car or something. Switch nose manual. Heel flipping. Those are my favorite shoes. They were high top Superstars with gold stripes. That's macking his feet. And a Fakey Vario heel. Me and Andrew Reynolds learned that trick the same day. That was third try in Erie, PA. That's in Buffalo, New York. Kickflip nose manual. This is like a perfect little mini ramp. It was in Canada. This is Sud Skates and somewhere in Ontario. I'm wearing a vintage black, well, it wasn't vintage then, but a black sheep shirt. Somebody watched this and was like, yeah, I saw that black sheep shirt. I'm like, you sure did. And the box cap. Oh, my God. And I had these back heels. Oh, kickflip nose tap. First and only I ever did. Nollie back tail. Slapadooshus. I'm not turning the sound up on any of this. Fuck it. And look at this back heel. I had them all day long. You can just do a little whippy shit. That was in Hamilton, Ontario. That was in my camera. That was the last clip I ever filmed on my camera before it died. You can tell how shitty it was. That was the very last clip on my wretched old Hi8 that was exposed to 89% humidity for 4 years. This is a good kickflip, though. You can't see it too good, but whew, that's a good kickflip. PJ, you rip. Here's a switch line. Here. Is this a proper switch push? It's kind of weird. I just kind of like switched my foot around. I didn't really reposition it. I'm really good at like getting on my board. Like I feel like I'm the Tom Penny of getting on my board. Like I get on my board to ride maybe better than anyone who's ever lived. You know, like some people are really good at like ollieing up a curb. Like me getting on the board is like a work of art. It's, if you ever see it, it's a sight to behold. If you ever find any footage of me, pay attention to just when I initially gently mount the board with suavity and finesse. Like this turnaround. Watch this. Whoop! I don't know why certain things give me satisfaction. My very first time going to a pro skate contest was in '89 at the NSA Pro Finals. And the one thing I noticed was like, these guys turn around so fast. Like they'd be rolling faking, they'd be like, whoop, just whip around. And I'm like, damn, that's cool. I don't know why that stuck out to me so much. In 1989 NSA Finals at the Tampa Bay Sundome, USF Sundome or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's time for vert. Don't press the vert button because we're live. You can't press the vert button anyway, dipshit. So here's the vert, guys. Let's just enjoy this. Good old Neil Hendricks, who went higher than maybe anybody. And Danny Way was going up there too, but Hendricks would go right into the rafters at the spot. You'll see later. You can just see his nose like going into the fiberglass. I think we know who this guy is, don't we? Andy Mack. Andy Mack pre-yellow helmet. OMG. Oh no, this is still Hendricks. Wait, that's still near Hendricks. That's right. We'll see the name when it changes. Okay, there it is. Okay, no words from me. Let's just watch vintage Mike Frazier from '94 and revel in it. Mike Frazier still killing it in Ocala with Phil Hagel to this day. I saw him do a switch hurricane yesterday. Yeah, that's Mike Frazier. Hasn't lost a lot. Look at that lapped overhand plant. Good God. Yeah, and bicycle men and rollerblade men. And we know Matt Hoffman. I met him. He introduced me to a guy named Evel Knievel one time at the X Trials in St. Petersburg. I waited in line for about an hour so I could meet Evel Knievel, get his autograph, and I said, hey, Evel, can I record you for 411? Can you say, this is Evel Knievel and you're watching 411? And he did it. So I have filmed the most famous, in my opinion, more than Elton John, the very best 411 bumper of Evel Knievel. And then here's featuring Bob Burnquist. Here's some Burnquist clips you never saw. How do you like watching footage you've never seen of Bob Burnquist? You just stumbled upon this Pauldcast, and now we're watching Burnquist together? Live? Yes. Okay, Tampa Pro 1995. There's Jeremy Ray. Shout out to him, who is still ripping with Pat Chinita every day. This was a guy I looked up to. I emulated his style. When I started riding for color, I was beyond excited to skate for the same place as Jeremy Ray and Chris Markovich. Rick Howard. This is really cool how yeah, I definitely did manuals like that, inspired by him. Kane Gale. Him and Dave Dern were the most consistent dudes. Nobody had the consistency or could do like 2 tricks over the pyramid at once. But Kane could. Kane's done 3. Kane and Billy Lane and Dave Dern could do things very consistently. Those 3 stood out to me. So Kane was doing like some kind of martial arts for a while, and now he's trying to skate again. And he's not trying, he's shredding. But might be a little tougher for him after all that muscle mass you build up doing the fighting. It might make it I would imagine, make it a little stiffer to skate. But it didn't take much for Kane to make it. He's already athletically trained, so you can see him still shredding. Just follow Kane Gale, Caine. Oh, it was spelled already, wasn't it? Gayle. Kane Gale. Gainesville, Florida, I think. Shout out to Gainesville dudes. Here's Andy Mack. No yellow helmet. He's not even wearing a helmet. Street Mac. Mac and cheese. Look at that. Shove it Vario. Style killer, Andy Mack. The opposite of style killer is Steve Barra. He was another super consistent dude. He had like the first dude to get like 2 song video parts. And like had 10 filmers. Yeah, Steve Barra made sure he got his footage. The foundation videos, when Steve Barra's part came on, you're like, yep, we got 2 songs coming up. We got a 7-minute Barra part coming up. But he was one of these dudes who shredded vert too. You ever see him skating vert in Omaha? Good old Barra. Shout out to him. Stale fish to disaster slap. That's dope. And then just throwing back heels. Like, that's what I loved. A transition trick and then right to street bear. Good old Chetty. We've gone over some of these clips before, and that's okay because these are all in one happy little package. And then after this episode of the Pauldcast, I guess we don't have to do too much footy no more. But we will do the footy when new footy necessitates footy watching. We'll footy it up. In the meantime, we're going to watch Hard Flips to Fakie from Chet Thomas that you may not have seen ever. And I call that a helipop kickflip because I'm old. Omar flipping his board. Omar still shredding. We all know that. There's Betty Schaefer's butt and Chris N's front three. Shout out to Brian Schaefer's mom. I think her name was Betty. Wasn't it Betty? Shout out to Conjolier, his dog. Rough in peace. There's Chris N doing things that shouldn't be possible. Flying off vert ramps. I should have zoomed in. Why didn't I zoom in? Oh well, I didn't want to miss it. Anyway, Chris N's a nut. He was the first one, I think, to really light up street events in a way that got the crowd really invested. Going fast. Wade Speyer, long distance truck driver now. Love that dude. That was the motocross jump, they called it. No, we know the story of Mike V. He wasn't supposed to enter this. He was supposed to be team manager, and he entered and won the first Tampa Pro and did all these tricks. Even in the 411, it didn't show all of these tricks, so look at this method to fakie. Make that quit immediately. That's probably what won it for him. The crowd was like, you just did a method to fakie on a street course. And then he blasts backside mute over the motocross gap. You're like, what just happened here? Like, is he about to win this contest? And then Mike V's like, watch. There it is. There's the icing on the cake. Crowd's like, well, it's Mike V. What else are we supposed to do? Like, you got any energy left, Mike Vallely? Mike Vallely? And then he does a pop shove just to seal the deal. Yeah, stop. It's done. Give him the prize. They played that last year at the Tampa Pro broadcast. Zitzer showed that whole run and said, here's the first winning run at the first Tampa Pro. Props to the Cote twins for filming it. And here's Tampa Pro vert contest. This was the first one. It was the first Tampa Pro vert. If I ever started a podcast for vert skating, or if you were doing a vert show just for vert, you'd call yourself Vert de Ferk. Vert de Ferk. Welcome to the Tranny Cast. My name's Vert de Ferk. Just like your football blog with Linus Crimmage. Open a basketball-themed chicken restaurant and call it Flagrant Foul. Stop. All right, it's Neil Hendricks again. We were telling jokes and not watching footy, but you're watching footy. If you got a big TV, you're looking on the left, and it's registering, and I'm talking my trash. So I don't care what anybody has to say. Mad love for Neil Hendricks, and love you, bro. And here, good old black helmet, good old Olympian, Team England. Good old black helmet, Andy Black 720. No, Andy Mack 720. He has a 720 right in his name. He wants you to know he does 720s. Is this Andy Mack's best vert run ever? I mean, he did a backflip out to end. Back in the day, Andy Mack's claim to fame was he could do a McTwist into a kickflip. Indy right here, McTwist into a kickflip Indy. That was his big, that was his claim to fame when kickflip Indies. Oh God, look here, guys, it's The Rock. He used to do the alley-oop air that coasted the entire surface of the ramp. Just watch how this ramp just crumbles to the ground when he's done. Stiffy, see that stiff leg? Good God. Nobody will ever, ever skate vert like Tom. Or Mike Crum. God, this guy floats. Like he just uses that one part where you like are suspended in midair and like are floating. He uses the float to his advantage, and he's still ripping. Props to Mike Crum, Houston, Texas, as high as Mike Crum get. And Mike Crum had these nollies. Look at these nollies. Nollie front and edge is floaty. And then Danny Way kick flipping into Indy nose bones. He had a mastery that the other dudes didn't, and he's probably going to win. And this was the second. Was this the second Tampa Pro? I don't know. Probably. Anyway, Danny won the first year and Tuss won the second year. So I think this is the first year. I think he won this one. At any rate, I know Tuss won the second year because he was the crowd favorite, even though Danny is, well, he's Danny. He's Danny Way. Hey, Danny Way, if you're watching the podcast, leave a comment, like and subscribe and smash that, whatever you call it. I hate tooting my own horn, but if you would like to subscribe, and you feel like this content is somehow enriching your life and changing and share it to you, because that's how I get the most traction, is if you share it and you tell your people. Ugh. Self-promotion sucks. Colin McKay, still doing it. Probably still shredding. The Birdman. Tony Hawk. A notable... You can tell when Tony's wearing the green shirt that's like his blue period. When you see Tony skating in these drab olives, that was during his blue period of skating, where he's very disenchanted, but still being the best vert skater, and still kind of getting hated on for being Tony Hawk, and still not really getting the advantages he deserves as a competitor because he's Tony Hawk, and because the judges are Tampa cool guys. But yeah, this is pretty up there as far as Tony Hawk footage that no one's ever seen. It, has some appeal to it. 360 varial. That's called the champ. That trick is called the champ. I can do that trick 360 varial out of a ramp. Like I'll do it out of a quarter pipe. The champ. Test Papas. I think I got in his way right there. I put my camera, and then they blamed me, and then they said interference. And then I took that one on the chat, took that L. But then they said, go again, because, it's Tampa. So I interfered, and then on his next run, he did this. I am taking a little bit of responsibility for giving him the ability to make history in that manner. Yeah, and then the crowd goes nuts. And, if you know Tuss Pappas, there's lots of other stuff that happened after that. But Tuss is a good Christian man, and I respect his morals and whatever. Cheers, mate. Hi, Tuss. Look at that fakie to fakie 5. That was out of control. So, yeah, there's a whole history of Tampa Vert. I was always there lurking. Me and Josh Stewart were basically the only filmers. Not too many other dudes in Tampa filming that I can remember. There were some photographers, but pretty much just me and Captain Stubing. Much love to Justin Bachma. So here's Mike Sinclair skateboarding. I'm sure you're familiar with Mike Sinclair as a concept, who owns Sloppy Trucks and Opera. No, that's Bill Weiss owns Opera. He's the Tom Yetto dude. Tom Yetto. Or at least used to be. I know he's Sloppy Trucks, and we'll see what else. More Mike Sinclair footage. I was borrowing his camera and filming him, and he let me borrow his camera. And the dudes at the skate shop, shout out to Mike. He's in Ohio. Mike Smith. These two dudes ran the shop. Mike and Bobby Sotomayor ran Cove Skate and Surf in Brandon. It was my local shop. Andrew Reynolds was on the team. Chris Curtis, one of the homies of Dwayne. And skated a little slower than most cats, but had good style. And nice beanie. Paul Zitzer's moved on to some cool things in skateboard world. I'm sure you've heard his name if you watched a skateboard contest in the last 20 years or so. And good old Billy Rohan, Samurai Skate Shop in Gainesville. He spent a lot of time in New York City. I think there's a documentary or two laying around about Billy Rohan, but him and Billy Lane were contemporaries. Billy's from Ocala, but this Rohan is from Gainesville. We go film with him, and he was very consistent as well, like flipping the board. We try to be around the dudes who could land their stuff because this is an era where consistency wasn't a priority. There's Billy Lane. Good old Jeremy Armstrong. This is the core Brandon homies. Yep, all these different setups, skate park. Brent Marks doing triple heel. Brent Marks is still doing these weird technical switch double 360s and switch double inward heel. Like, he's still doing double stuff and pressure flip combos. Willie Santos is still doing his thing. Willie's Workshop. When I was working for Satori Movement, I got him sponsored by Satori. Got him a wheel. That's the first flip out trick I ever filmed. Or even saw. I was like, did he just kickflip out of a grind? A Smith grind? Like, what happened there? Yep. Willie just won everything, man. I think really Willie's probably the most influential for consistent skating in contests. Like, this is a hot take, but I'm pretty sure Andrew Reynolds got that frontside flip from Willie. Like, I don't want to tell tales out of school, but I'm going to speculate that Andrew Reynolds started doing frontside flips by watching Willie do them. We could get some independent, verification on that, but I'm here to tell you, it feels like it went down that way. Here's some alley-oops, Tony Hawk. Here's some indie tweaks, Tony Hawk. Some varial heel lean, Tony Hawks. I think that was the first flip trick that Tony learned. And street skating, Tony Hawk doing a switch blunt. Thank you. What is this? He flipped the board. Yeah, Tony Hawk can do a 360 flip. I can't. Okay, this was Andrew's very first Birdhouse demo. He saw us in the white t-shirts. He's like, I'm going to do the butter shirt. I'm going to do the yellow butter shirt to show people I'm buttery. Yeah, I'm sure he was nervous. Switch frontside flip Reynolds. Look at this kickflip. This kickflip changed us. We were changed. This was like, no, catching a kickflip. I see what's next. Catching it on your feet. Yeah. And Curry was probably 20% to 30% better than any dude around in that area. This is a blind demo. Watch Nollie inward. No, wait, Nollie hard flip. Yeah, Nollie hard flip. Nollie inward heel. Stop it with those tricks. Here's the mutt. He's notable. I think I talked to that dude for like 45 minutes in the demo, just talking about science or some obscure shit the whole time. Like, shouldn't you be skating? He's like, we've been talking about existential shit for 20 minutes. There's St. Petersburg's finest, who's now Atlanta's finest. Miss you, Jed. Hope you're good, dude. And we know what Josh Stewart's done with his life. TOA, the Theories of Atlantis. Distributes Hops, distributes Isle, distributes 2 or 3 other brands I can't think of. Magenta. There's John Montesi, who still owns Westside Skate Shop since 97. Oh, Traffic. That's another company that Josh does. Nollie Nose Grind. Oh, who had more hop and pop than Montesi? Nobody. So here's Dwayne at the skate park. Switch 360 flip. Pretty much everywhere. To fakie, over hips front side, over hips back side. Switch 360 flipping all over everything. Was there 2 in a row? That was 2 in a row, dude. And then the gear, man, the shorts. I think those were fucked FUCT shorts. We had all these excuses about how it helps us. It didn't help us. We're Switch 360 flip everywhere. Here's a nollie flip to fakie on a quarter pipe. Like, when's the last time you saw a nollie flip to fakie on a quarter pipe? Anybody? He had some, yeah, like at the end of one run here, he does a fakie frontside flip to fakie on this bank. I think it's at the end of this run right here. Look at this, switch frontside flip. Like, so much technicality. Oh, wait, no, it's later. But you'll see it in a second. So, oh my, switch 360 flip, like backside over the hip. Yeah, here it is. And then fakie flip. And then watch this. He does nollie back and then does a fakie frontside flip to fakie. Like, hello, no one's doing them now. Look at this. Nobody is doing that. I haven't even thought to do that. When was the last time that happened? All right, here's my twin brother at the skate park. That's the first incarnation. That's the first. That's V1 of the spot. Fakie hard flips. He had a good tray flip. I didn't. I had one. I did one in this life. That's the earliest incarnation of the spot, bro. Look at it. Bro, that's before the vert was tucked into that corner. That's when the vert was still up front. Look at that 8-foot deck. That's a real pyramid. It ain't a pyramid unless there's a piece of plywood, full length plywood, 8x4. That's a pyramid. And there's chopped short shit. Anyway, Chris was consistent. He always had me following him around. Man, for every 4 clips he had, I got 1. Not that anyone's counting. But here we go. We're continuing in our consistencies. Good golly. Fakie hard flip. I don't know where we got our trick ideas from. You know, we watched all the videos and we always just had it in our head that we weren't as good as the West Coast dudes, but I don't think it was true, man. I think we were just as good as any of these West Coast guys. We just didn't have the perspective enough to see we were good compared to anyone else. And then I went to California. I'm like, these spots are smaller than I thought. The fisheye makes them look big. Maybe skating's not as hard as I thought it was. And that was true and not true at the same time. And Chris always had consistency. He wanted a 3-minute edited video every month that we had to send to Powell. But it was kind of thrilling getting calls from Mike V. He's very intimidating. This is Mike Valley. Shit. Chris, Mike V's on the phone. You better pick up quick. He's going to fucking come pile drive you if you make him wait too long. He's a wrestler. But yeah, one 3-minute edited video a month. That was an unreasonable expectation, Cote. But we did it. Shit. Well, for what it's worth. And I would say we probably filmed hundreds of hours of clips. I mean, compared to Josh Stewart, probably twice the output of lurking. But Josh hooked up with the good dudes and the cool guys, and we were a few years behind, so we just lurked and skated till the sun went down, till they pulled down the shutters and shut the lights off. And Dad came and picked us up in the station wagon to go back to Brandon. Anyway, I hope Chris is trying to skate when he can. Get you some tricks, boy. How much more this is long, huh? We make long videos, huh? We're 34 out of 48. Yeah, we can hang. We can hang tough till the end. Get over yourself. We're watching footy. Have you ever seen this footy before? I doubt it. This footy is straight out of the Golden Age. The Golden Age, where only love exists. Remember that? Okay, go back to the video. Quit screwing around. Quit screwing around. Go back to the video. Good God. I've messed everything up. Oh well, it's just Chris footage. Who cares? Just kidding, Chris. There you go. Back to the footy. We're currently experimenting technological differences, so yeah. Anyway, that's enough of Cote. Good old John Smith. That's Mike Smith's brother. No, they're not in the witness protection program. You got a John Smith and a Mike Smith. I'm not saying their parents weren't creative. I'm not making that assumption. I would never say that about a person. But we had some good parties back in the day at the double wide trailer at John Smith and Mike Smith's house. A lot of 40s. A 40 and a blunt. That's all she really wants. We had our good times out in Turkey Creek where John and Mike lived. He had absentee parents, I think. I never met his parents. It was just free reign for the Smiths for parties. We need to have some kind of outlet. But the crew was Mike Smith, John Smith, Bobby Costin, Jeremy, Kyle Stone. That was the core crew. And then Brad Patterson joined us a little bit later. But we'd have a lot of fun. If something was too funny, we'd just go running in all different directions. If something was too funny, like we were making fun of somebody and was laughing at him, it was so funny we'd have to pull over because you couldn't laugh hard enough. You had to just get out and run. So we'd just get out and run for a block or so and get out that manic laugh energy and then get it back again. But we had a lot of fun as kids. And John was always shredding, kick flipping that pyramid. He had really great quarter pipe tricks. He had a fakie heel. In the original Adventures Night, he does a fakie heel flip on that quarter pipe right there. And I've never seen a fakie heel on a quarter pipe like that. Like, tricks like come and go. And you just like, when was the last fakie heel you saw on a quarter pipe? And you don't have an answer for that. Some tricks are just, why don't they do them? You know? But that's the Big Kahuna. Any tricks you can do, like a 360 flip to fakie on the Big Kahuna was notable. Because it's a funky angle. Hey, look, it's me. PJ Cody, PJ Cody, PJ Cody is ready to wreck the set, and many more. All right, catching a kickflip with a Gumby t-shirt on, not flipping my board, wearing acid-washed jeans, which I haven't worn since. They were color. Those were color acid-washed jeans. I got them in a box. That's a color board I'm riding here. Nice little nollie. This was another original of mine. Front heel to tail. Slap. Should have heard it, bro. Echoed. Slap. If you watch this video on the internets, then you can hear that tail slap. But yeah, mobbed. You didn't have to catch your tricks. You had a flex fit hat on. You mobbed your kickflip. Oh, that was the mobbinest kickflip ever performed. And then, you know, I got to mob that heel flip. If I'm going to mob that kickflip, I got to late twist that switch 180 just to make the whole thing sketchy. And then check this out. Here's my signature move. Kung Fu. And then the only blunt back heel I ever did. Paul Zitzer watching that. Thanks for the shout-outs every year at the Tampa Pro and Tampa and Paul Zitzer. Here it is again, the ollie to tail to kickflip. That was my trick. I never seen nobody else do it in that manner. Dave Dern would do them, but he'd do them to kickflip fakie, like backside flip out, but nobody else did them just front side and then kickflipping straight back in. So that was my signature. Wearing those Airwalk gym shoes, J-I-M. Those were good shoes. They came out, they got ridiculous. They had like tennis ball fuzz and then basketball material. After a while, the gym shoes got ludicrous. Like my dad used to say, ludicrous. The only hard flip I ever did, triple heel. Stop. Those are my pro models that I cut down. Fakie inward heel, but I use my toe. That was my inward toe. Fakie inward toe, because it's not inward heel, is it? I'm utilizing my big toe. I could do them regular and fakie. A consistent soul I was. I think I have a write-up of the original Tampa Pro article like that I wrote. I have the original write-up that I sent to Thrasher. Now here's a Rick flip. Shout out to Rick Howard. And shout out to Nick Matlin. Me and him did front heels all day long. Look at these. I think I'm wearing the Jason Lee. The Jason Lee Airwalks. Black with the gum. Oh, nollie back, tail back revert. That's the only time I ever did that trick. I don't think I even knew I was going to back revert that. I'm like, I'm on camera. I'm going to back revert. One and only nollie back, tail back revert. Ooh, look at this fakey flip. I ran into the pole, but I counted anyway. Switch nose manual fakey flip from PJ in 93 on Mike Sinclair's camera. So after they retired the old box, they built a slightly bigger one with the metal coping, and that box lasted right there for 10 years. There's the old box. Yep. Get my color boards and get my 60/40 boards, and then once those companies bit the dust, I was sponsorless, and I moved to California to pursue filmmaking. Nice nose grind, PJ. Nice falling down, Chris. One and only lip slide Aberdeen. Yep, if you're a fan of Tampa skateboarding and spot skateboarding, then you're in your happy place right now, watching obscure footage that you've never seen probably. Unless you've watched earlier Pauldcast, which, probably not. 40 views here, 50 there's view. At some point it'll catch on, and then all those views will exponentially increase. But in the meantime, we're making content. So here's the end of mine. Front heel. Wear my San Jose hat. My sister would send me San Jose Sharks hats from California, and then I eventually moved there. Here's my front side kickflip. I gotta get those back again. Yeah, so we are kind of wrapping things up here, I think. How much more? 48 minutes can we... Oh, we got credits and everything. There's my one and only Smith grind. Props to the Smith grind. If you do a good Smith grind, you don't have to flip out. Yep, nose manuals live rent-free in my head. So, that's probably my favorite trick. Flex Fit starters. That's some old shit. So that's the video, 48 minutes including credits, same as Adventures in High 8, which is 45 minutes. Never to be outdone with long-winded skate videos, just a few more clips than you would have wanted, and that's how I roll apparently, because I'm PJ Cote, and this here's the Golden Age, Pauldcast, and that guy's rollering. The most fun for editing is making credits, personally. It's a fun process. You're setting little clips aside as you go along. You're like, oh, that's a little B-roll. Yeah, that'll tell us a few things to illustrate and provide context. Let's provide context. Because, exposition is so crucial in skateboard videos, of course, as we know. To follow a narrative in a skate video is essential. Ha. The Golden Age Pauldcast exists to watch skate footage from 30 years ago, reminisce upon the past, shout out a bunch of pros, and, they can call me a kook or tell me to stay out of their DMs, or they can tell me I'm a cornball, and that's okay. I wear it on my sleeve like a badge of honor. Skate kooks for life, bro. Brandon Posse. Cucaracha Steezo, you know what I'm saying? Trailer Park. Rip in peace to Will Durham. Nobody ever saw that Will Durham pop shove it in the history of life, and there it is. If you knew Will Durham and loved him, there's your pop shove it for your memory banks of Will back from the grave to do a pop shove it. He's probably barefoot in heaven too. He's doing a Benihana barefoot over the World Trade Center towers, preserved again, like Danny Way doing a barefoot Benihana in heaven. Hey, board collectors, drool, run a slow-mo, board collectors. Oh my God, look at that fire starter deck. That's worth $3,000. Shut up. Look at us pretending to smoke blunts. There's the very first pro shop, which consisted of t-shirts and boards and shoes their pros brought to trade for stuff. And that was a weird hip that existed briefly. Mike had a little alien flow going on. Props to Mike Smith. Props to Dwayne Phillips. Hope to see you again soon, homeostasis. And we're about ready to wrap up this biscuit and send it off to go with some honey and gravy and hot sauce. Me and my inward toe flip It's not an inward heel flip, is it? Inward toe. Props to Nick. He's still out there. Broken Sea Legs on Insta. Follow him. We still keep in touch with these homies from 30 years ago randomly, huh? How do you like that? We're pretty cool. This is the golden age. In the golden age, we do so many interesting things. We talk about comedy, skateboarding. If you want to be a guest, maybe Howard Glover would like to be a guest. Howard Glover, let's talk about your skate history, bro. You're a filmer. Let's talk about you, Howard Glover. Wait, didn't you ride for Consolidated? Wait, is that the same Howard Glover? Am I thinking of someone else? Did Howard Glover ride for Consolidated? Do I have somebody else in mind? Who am I? Ooh, Kira Sedgwick reacted to my video. I just got a thumbs up from Kira Sedgwick. Do we know who Kira Sedgwick is? I think that's John Travolta's wife and the mom of Sosie Bacon and other Bacons. All the Bacons. Props to Kira Sedgwick. If you were watching the Golden Age podcast, tell Sosie I said hi. She promised she'd watch it too. I'm not going to pretend I'm friends with cool people, but maybe they want to be my friend. I deserve it. I'm rad. I bring a lot to the table. I bring blessings, love, and light, and positivity, and rollerbladers on a video. Rollerblading. Look at this one. What do they call that one? They'll call that one swab the deck or walk the plank. I bet they call that the walk the plank. And this guy's fancy. He has my Tampa Bay Bandits t-shirt wrapped around his neck. That's a deep cut. The Tampa Bay Bandits. Jump in the obscurity, digging the crates on the Tampa Bay Bandit spray. So yeah, Wood would probably help my brother a lot be a more consistent skater dude. This is back when we could pull off wearing a size small t-shirt. That t-shirt is a size small, I remember. Because my brother could fit it. I couldn't fit it. I was a little huskier. It's on the husky side. I had my Rustlers in husky, and that was very embarrassing. So I went on a diet. Like, what's your diet, PJ? I just drink water, and I'll skip a meal. And then my young ass fixed up quick. So, I guess we're going to roll this out for a few more minutes. Most Golden Age podcast lasts about an hour and a half. If you are still hanging tough like the new kids on the block, props to you. I have an old copy of Mad Magazine that's got the New Kids on the Block stickers, like hating the New Kids on the Block. And they're like stickers that came with a Mad Magazine from 1990. I think I'm going to get those New Kids hater stamps and start putting them up all over town. They're like stamp material. And they talk shit about the New Kids, which is pretty cool if you ask me. All right, so we're just going to close out this bad boy, and it's over with. It is over with, bro. Totes over. Oh, let's take that back, and we'll get rid of that. Hey! It's the Golden Age Pauldcast, and it's a place where only love exists. Look at all these new graphics I have. Look at me clicking. Someone's been clicking. Hey, Starla. I like your midsection. It's like exposed. So cute. Anyway, I'm going to keep the Golden Age podcast rolling momentarily. We do got a few minutes left, so I just want to let you know, I guess, what's coming up. We'll be doing some more comedies here in the future, and if you're a venue wanting to showcase some stand-ups, we've done a lot of comedy over the summer, lots of experience, and anyone wants to hop on board, you just holler at your boy. I got a whole set. I'm ready to represent for the Golden Age, and to speak of fun stuff and anticipate transition into good times. So the Golden Age will be here for that. We'll have some jokes for it. We'll have some musics for it. We'll have some graphics. And as the world works its way closer toward our point of view, and I've been getting lots of validation on the Golden Age, I have to feel confident that we're moving forward into exactly where we thought we were. Turns out the whole cosmological, new agey, whatever, that the fake Christians called a cult wasn't really. And the real occult is, the the folks in charge right now who worship a fake devil. There's some alien down in Antarctica in a fake crystal palace, and you go down there, and these guys are like, "Hey, look, it's the devil. This is the guy we worship and do evil shit for." And it's really like, sounds kind of ironic, but it is kind of a good versus evil thing. But the only rub is that there's aliens involved. I'll say aliens. I want to say otherworldly inhabitants involved. So we got grays, we got tall whites, and we got reptilians. The grays and the tall whites seem to be the nice guys. The reptilians seem to be not. Remember that old Florida Governor Scott? He looked like a snake. So there's reptilians, and that's fine. They may have or may not have influenced our DNA or created our vibrations of competition, fear, and want, and woe, and not enough. That insecurity may have been bred into us to make us more willing slaves for the gold or for whatever they want. But don't give a damn about the theys or who they are. We don't feed energy to things we don't like. We only talk about what the golden age is and where we're going. So where we're going is to a place where our margins aren't quite as thin, and we're able to have more spare time to enjoy this thing. So I stay purposely vague when it comes to the golden age, other than just hold the vision in your heart that we were here to usher in some new fun and enjoyment in this world. And that's why we were chosen. And this is the best time in 40,000 years that we could have been chosen to be here. So we have contracts. Our soul contracts can be amended. If you have anybody in your life who's dissed you or needs forgiving, you can do that easily when you recognize that they're all part of the soul contracts. You can say, look, here's the soul contract. And you can rip it up and you say, we're not doing this anymore. And I forgive you, but that doesn't mean I have to keep kicking it with you. But just please know that, we're here to fulfill the contracts, and sometimes those contracts change. But if we're ready to acknowledge our role and know how important it is to be here, then we get excited. And, they say don't, try to change people. You don't. It's really, narcissistic, egotistical, whatever, to think that you're going to fix or uplift people. No, you're going to work on yourself. You're going to clean your room, make your bed, and clean your shit up, and that holds the space so that other people can do that too. So we don't interfere with other people's path, to try to fix or change or whatever. That's pretty much like interfering with their path. We don't want to do that. We just want to continue to unconditionally love. If somebody shows us negativity, don't show them positivity. Show them kindness. Show them warmth. Oh, you sound upset. Would you like a hot muffin and a glass of milk? Warmth is the answer to negativity. So, I'm feeling good about the Golden Age Pauldcast today. We've hung tough for a good amount of time here. I do have some new things I'd like to show you. I did the last episode of Robots for Your Feet, which kind of ended up being kind of like a podcast because I spent an hour and a half going over all my sneakers. And if you're able to jump on my page and like and subscribe or whatever, then you can see the first season and a half of Robots for Your Feet. It's me going over goofy sneakers that I ordered from Alibaba and laughing at the bad translations. And that was the first incarnation of the Pauldcast. And so the last episode just kind of became a blowout where I went through all my sneakers and looked at all the shoes in the archive. So now that I'm out of shoes, that's a hiatus for now on the show until I get more crappy shoes from China or elsewhere. In the meantime, we're going to keep the podcast going and try to get a guest. Guest would be great. I'm going to get the Zoom going so we could do some Zoom convos, and anybody who's following along the podcast can be thusly encouraged that this thing's evolving into more fun, more graphics, more logos, more PJ Cote, and enjoying our life. And these stars are about to align, like 8 planets are about to align. All types of stuff might happen. we're looking forward to maybe some kind of a solar flash, and that's why all those trails are in the sky, trying to coat it before our pineal glands can be clouded. But one thing I want to leave you with is, speaking of the pineal glands, just do yourself a little visual. Just kind of visualize you taking that pineal gland out, the little pineapple-looking thing, and just scrubbing it, just using steel wool and some borax, and you just mule team the shit out of that, and you feel yourself scrubbing it clean, and you're rinsing it in the water and scraping it against a washboard like an old washerwoman, and you're scrubbing that thing clean, and then flick it right back into your dome piece, and you're visualizing it clear, and then you get yourself a piece of Palo Santo, and you find my video that says Time Hopping Made Easy, and I give you the tutorial. It's basically light the Palo Santo till it's nice and smoking, and when that's done, you're going to draw 9 infinities. So you're going to draw 9 with the smoke, and as soon as you're done with that, you're going to whip your arm around like as hard as you can, kind of whip it, and create a portal. Just a picture like Rick and Morty portal gun. And you created your smoke portal, and then you just kind of step over and into it, and you successfully jumped dimensions and maybe time frames. So we're jumping through like infinitesimal different dimensions right now. We're just hop, skipping, and jumping. And so I'm trying to visualize that reality, the one where I get the abundance, the one where I win, where my art's worth millions, and the girl of my dreams is on my arm, and the whole thing works out in my advantage, because this is my universe anyway. There's no one else doing this. You're your own universe, I'm my own universe. I mean, we run simultaneously. We're detached but attached. We're together but not, if that makes sense. It's kind of a dichotomy. The is, not is. The Zen shit. Got to know up to know down. So we're here for perspective, and that's that. We're choosing light and love over fear. Any thought that feels like, excuse me, Belcherino, any thought that's based in love, you can identify, and if it's based in fear, you can identify it. If you say, I'm afraid, I'm so concerned, well, they said this, they said that, I want to reassure everybody about what's going on globally right now. It's called a means to an end. Things will start to happen that will free us. Don't look for bad guys. Don't look for a bad guy, especially not anybody in a suit. Those people aren't real, and what they're saying isn't really real. They're kind of trolling the right certain people, and then once those people are taken into custody, then the real change can begin in this world. Yeah, it's called a systems buster. That's what we are. We're systems busters. We're light workers. And that's what we're doing. And the world will come around to our point of view. We've been seeing it, the evidence of it, way more. And the validation is here. The synchronicities are there. We're going to start remembering dreams more. We're going to start getting way more deja vu. We're going to start really just... the dream world and the living world are going to start to intermingle in ways that are weird for some people. But rest assured, man, let's have fun. Let's know, I'm always complaining that, not enough this, not enough that. Like, there's enough money, there's enough time. You just have to always reassure yourself that if you're broke, it's because you're supposed to be broke. If whatever it is is happening, it's because it's supposed to be. We embrace that shit, and then moving forward from there, we are going to continue, not I want to say uplifting, just we're going to continue walking our path and holding the space for others. So I don't want to be too bloviating or long-winded here. I think we're just going to call it here pretty quick. But I wanted to do this after, the election here, just to kind of reassure people that it seems kind of absurd right now, but rest assured that the dude who's running the show might be working with bigger forces to eliminate the shittier parts of society and clear out those who are shitty. And for those who would question, like, whether we're being run by shitty people, like, think about any job. Like, you're cool. Your boss is maybe a little less cool, but he's your boss. Their boss is kind of shitty. Their boss is super shitty. And then the owner's like a piece of shit. And, I mean, there are exceptions. There are really cool business owners out here. I haven't experienced too many, but the good ones, yeah, props to you. But most of the hierarchy in a business is the shittier you are, the less empathy you have, the higher up in the company you can ascend. And that seems common sense. So why would it be such a stretch of the imagination to think that that's the way this country and this world is run? The shittier you are, the higher up you can get. But at the end of the day, by this time next year, mark my fake watch, the whole thing looks different by next year. And by 2027, that's when the golden age kicks in. I have a website called thegoldenage.us. I have a feeling that's going to be utilized. I'm going to start blowing that up, thegoldenage.us. Don't go there yet, but I own it, and I'm going to try to develop that. It seems like that particular concept is gaining traction. So you can thank your boy PJ Cote for creating the potential for the golden age to start. And I take full responsibility. And again, no politics. I don't believe in any of that shit. But I just want y'all to stay positive and know that here we go. We're strapping into the roller coaster. Look at it as fun. Do not be afraid, because only good things happen from here on out. I am PJ Cote. Hey Bella. You want to say hi before we go? You haven't been on camera the whole time, and you're good eye candy. Come here, Bubba. Come here, sweetie. Dun, 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 dun. Here's the Bella Ace. She is the Bella Ace, all up in this place. Bella produces the show. As you can tell, she's just been kind of hanging in the wings. I love you. So anyway, here's Bella Ace. She's been a very patient young lady for this process, and I thank her for her forbearance. I am PJ Cote, all day long, twice on Sunday. You can find me on Facebook, PJ Cote, on X, Paul Cote, Paulcote. I only use X for comedy, because X is going to give it to you. And then Facebooks and obviously YouTube. Please like if you can, subscribe if you can. That's your prerogative. I love you either way, unconditionally. I'm going to play the outro music by the beautiful and venerable Sean O'Neill, a.k.a. Drum Addict. And the song is called Love Is Real. And here we go. Props and much love to you and yours out there in TV land. It's time to play some music. Yeah. Oh. It's the Golden Age Pauldcast. Love y'all. I'm PJ Cote. Howski. jumping